And good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, depending on where you are around the world. I am Marcus Holmes, HR Passion Guy, bringing yet another installment of Passion Fridays. So if you are on YouTube events, Twitch TV, on Facebook, or on LinkedIn, please drop in the comments where you are and what the weather is like where you are. So I have some folks that are here with me on Facebook, some folks that are on LinkedIn. Thank you so much. Some folks on YouTube events. I'm trying to track with all of you. And I am just grateful that all of you have taken some time to be with us here across all platforms utilizing Restream. As the topic talks about today a little bit, we'll share some moments, some of them reflective moments of people in their passion. And I want to ask you, what is your passion? And are you living in the center of your passion? If you aren't, don't worry, it's not too late for you to get connected and live in the center of your passion. And so again, whether you are watching us on YouTube events, Twitch TV, Facebook, or here on LinkedIn, please drop in the comments where you are and what the temperature is like where you are. I am in Northwest Detroit on the Northwest side, and the temperature is in the 30s. It's creeping up, but I expect that we will have a white Christmas. I don't know about you, where you are around the world, but thank all of you for joining and drop in the comments where you are and what the temperature is like there. We bring you Passion Fridays every Friday. These are passionate stories or passionate people or an intersection of the two. And so I hope that you will click share and tag someone to join us in the discussion and remind them that Passion Fridays happens every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so I'm excited from an HR passion perspective to bring you passionate moments and passionate people each Friday. And so I hope that you will continue to join us and provide your support. And thank all of you that are joining now. I hope that you're clicking share and tagging someone to join us. Today, I thought I would include as a part of today's show just what it looks like, a quick moment of what excellence in public service looks like for those that are in the Metro Detroit area, Wayne County area, Midwestern region of our country. You have probably by now heard of the passing of one of our giants in this area in public service, who dedicated his life to serving people. Our Wayne County Sheriff, Benny Napoleon, has made his transition, as has been noted. And after a valiant battle with this horrific virus, the coronavirus, COVID-19. He made his transition yesterday. And I think by everybody who knew him or met him, he had an infectious laugh and smile and a regal touch, but a common hand. And he will be sorely missed. His seat will be missed. And I just wanted to have a moment of reflection in his great memory, that we all should live in our passion. I believe he was in the center of his passion with people, the rapport he developed with people, his touch with people was just something that we could all aspire to. So I want to just ask you to take a moment of reflection and just we'll just share this quick video. Just a moment of reflection, and there is so much more to be said. Not enough words or space or time could really encapsulate the life of Benny Napoleon and the many, many people who he encouraged, inspired, uplifted, promoted, helped, referred, appointed. He was a man who made his platform, his office, his service count to help others and to give them an opportunity. So rest well, sir. May you have great reward. I am so thankful for having had the opportunity to meet him, as many people have. And I think many people would agree that his life and legacy of public service, excellence in public service, is something we all can aspire to. Have you ever met somebody who just seemed in the grace of ease, I always call it, seemed to be a natural in their gift and a natural in their connection with the people? Well, I think we all have the possibility to walk in passion in that regard. And we should all be about the business of finding what that grace of ease is for us, where our natural and God-given and honed abilities find an intersection with that part of us that is filled up by what we do. What's that thing that refuels you and drives you to give to others? It's something greater than yourself, right? That we should all pursue to live in the center of. And I think he was a great example for us to see of someone living in the center of their passion, really making a difference and impact everywhere that he went, in every place that he touches. And so I hope that I will aspire, Rashida, to be like that. I'm heartbroken. We were all praying, of course, and are praying for Tiffany and Hilton and the entire family. We were praying for a different result. And sometimes when you pray and you don't get the result that you want, you get frustrated. Sometimes you get frustrated, even though there is a better place, a better reward for those who have served, but you get frustrated. And I hope that, like that there is some comfort and solace for you in knowing that if he impacted your life, at least in the way that he did mine, even if it wasn't brief, periodic passings or a meeting or an opportunity or a laugh, that you will carry that forward and that you will share and love and live as much as you can in the center of your passion while you can, because none of us ever really know when it will be our last opportunity. So again, rest well, dear sir. Those of you that are job seeking, I have a hot tip for a project manager position. It does require that you have some experience with electronic medical records, but it is a project management temporary opportunity to implement an electronic medical record implementation, to implement a process for an organization. If you have those set of skills, you have project management skills and you're a proven project manager, and you have some electronic medical records experience, inbox me on LinkedIn, or if you're not on LinkedIn and you're on one of the other platforms, inbox me there with your resume. They are looking now. So we talked last week about 30, 60, 90 days. They're looking today. They're looking to fill the spot today. It is a temporary spot. I don't have the duration, but once you provide me your resume, if it matches an initial pre-screen, you'll get more information. I'll forward that to the recruiter and you'll get more information, okay? And I want to double back and make the City of Detroit plug. If you're looking for a great opportunity, the City of Detroit is a great place to work. Go to our website at www.detroitmi.gov/employment. And there's some great opportunities there. Rashida, you're absolutely correct. We do not know the day or the time. So, speaking of living in the center of your passion, I wanted to share an entrepreneur today whose music you may have heard or will be hearing, and he has a Christmas project out, and I'm going to share one of the songs from his Christmas project. His name is James Shelton, and he is a phenomenal musician, very creative writer and arranger, producer, all of those things, all things music. And he has a single out and some more music, but he's got a Christmas single out that I want you to hear. And I hope that you will purchase it from all digital outlets, but you can go to James Shelton on Facebook. He's also on LinkedIn, and I'm sure there will be plenty of opportunities there for you to get additional information. All right, so we're gonna hear a little bit from Merry Christmas Baby from James Shelton. All right.
Merry Christmas, baby. Sure did treat me nice. Merry Christmas, baby. Sure did treat me nice. Bought me a diamond ring for Christmas. Now I feel like I'm in paradise. I feel mighty fine, y'all. I got music on my radio. I feel mighty fine, y'all. I got music on my radio. It feels like I'm gonna kiss you, standing beneath that mistletoe. Oh, hey. Come on. Oh, yeah. You better play, boy. Uh-huh. We gonna give you some bottom, baby. Merry Christmas, baby. So did treat me nice. Merry Christmas, baby. So did treat me nice. Brought me a diamond ring for Christmas. Now it feels like I'm in paradise.
That was James Shelton. He was the gentleman you see on the keyboards. Lead vocals by Alex Goss, another Detroit fave. And you can go to James Shelton's page on LinkedIn or on Facebook to purchase and get some holiday cheer going. He's been doing the 12 days of Christmas, and you can join him in the 12 days of Christmas, almost close to Christmas time, right? So you can join him then in the 12 days of Christmas. All right, so that's what I wanted to talk to you about today in part, is living in the center of your passion, right? Benny Napoleon lived in the center of his passion. If you are on Facebook and on LinkedIn, you've probably seen any number of posts about and pictures of Benny Napoleon hands-on with people, helping people, promoting people, appointing people, letters of recommendation for people, encouraging people, laughing with and for, laughing at and with people. Great spirit, great humor, great wit, great personality, down to earth, in the center of his passion, helping people, standing for people, fighting for people, right? James Shelton, the arranger and musical director for the piece that you just saw, living in the center of his passion. And so if you are in 2020 and hoping to get to 2021 and you are not living in the center of your passion, I think it is important to bring to your attention that you have got to begin to find out what is that intersection of the grace of ease, that skill, that talent that you do, that you could do almost with your eyes closed, right? It may have taken you years to get there, right? So you had to hone a craft, but now you got something that you do. You are gifted with things in administration. You are gifted with counseling. You are gifted as a chef. You are gifted as an entrepreneur. What's that grace of ease that you have? And you are in it and it fills you up to be able to do that, right? And that grace of ease that intersects with your purpose and your calling in this world of things to do. So you might have many things that you do well. Many of you probably do. But there's one thing that brings purpose to your very existence. And if you haven't found that, I invite you to go on a journey to find that first before you start this new job search that many of you have embarked upon. Well, James Shelton, I'd like to have you on. That was the whole plan. I see that you're on LinkedIn with me. Thank you so much. So if I can inbox you in a minute, I'd love to have you come on. I know you're in the studio and you're cranking, but I'd love to have you come on. One of my favorite people, musicians in the world, I will say. So I'm biased. I should have said that at the outset. But I'd love to have you on and just talk to you about your passionate journey. So if I can get you on, that'd be great. Just reading the comments and seeing him commenting, the composer, producer himself of the great music that you just heard. So I'd like to have him just jump on so he can tell you where you can purchase this great music and how you can be part of these last few days of the 12 days of Christmas events that he's been doing. So we want to certainly include him in that. But living in the center of your passion, finding out what your passion is. I call it your grace of ease, that thing that fills you up. And I don't want to throw anybody off when I say grace of ease, because people sometimes think that it had to be easy all the time. It doesn't have to be easy all the time. There are many singers who will tell you it took them years to get to a place where they could just wake up and just sing. But it's that thing that you honed your craft and you have some skill around it, some creativity around it, some passion for it. It fuels you up. It fills you up when you're doing it. That thing that can be connected to a purpose. So what is the purpose? What does it, what's the outcome? What happens after you do it? What drives it? What's that mission to bring it to an outcome? What is that thing? And that is what I want you to have a great idea of before you embark upon this next job search, because you might be highly skilled in many areas and search out a company that's a great company. Many great companies out here, right? Fortune 100, Fortune 10, right? Fortune 500, or small, medium, large, right? But if you aren't sure about what your purpose is and what drives your passions, you might get into a place that you don't align with well. So start out your search with the internal search of, am I in my passion? And if I'm not, don't seek out another job in that same vein if you find that you're not passionate. It's probably not just the company. It's probably not just the manager. You know, these are things that people say. People leave the manager. They do. People leave companies because they don't have enough learning and development opportunities. They do. People leave companies because they're not making enough money. They do. People leave companies because they don't see an opportunity to move around. They do. And other reasons. But when you are connected to purpose, and when employees are connected to their purpose and align it with the organization's purpose, retention and engagement is positively impacted. And that's what every organization wants, right? They want employees who are going to stay and who are going to drive value in the organization. And employees that drive value are typically not employees who are not engaged, who are not connected and committed and loyal to that organization's mission and core values. And so you got to first find out, what am I driven to do? Because if you're driven toward helping people, you might find yourself more aligned with a service organization than a manufacturing organization, maybe, right? And so if you're a quality professional, you might find yourself finding quality opportunities, or quality inspection is what I'm talking about, quality opportunities in a service organization, if that's your mission, maybe. Okay, so you got a purpose. What's your purpose? And aligning that purpose when you're going to the website after you've determined your purpose. You're going to the website of these companies, you got to look at their core values. And if those core values do not resonate with you, you got to give yourself some pause as to whether or not this is a company. Check out some of the people that work there and see what's similar or dissimilar to you and them, because you want to make sure that you're aligning your purpose. And I'm defining your purpose as that thing that you feel called in this world to do. And you have the grace of ease to do it. You feel like you're gifted to do it. You feel like you got 80% of what you need to do it, and you're working on that other 20, and you're called to do it. Some people are called to help people. Some people are called to connect people together. Some people are called to create things and develop things and design things. Okay? And you got to align that with whatever outcomes and grace of ease match at an intersection. Think of it as an intersection of grace of ease, your calling, and outcomes. So 3, I probably could put a third finger there. So a 3-way intersection. Almost these 3 things crash at a point. It's that sweet spot where you've been gifted or you have learned or honed a skill, and it's related to a purpose, and it brings an outcome. You bring value when you are in the center of your passion. You bring value to everything you touch when you are operating in the center of your passion. Be it vocationally, avocationally, recreationally, you bring outcomes. So people are saying, boy, you did a great job. Boy, you saved us money. Boy, you increased revenue. Boy, this grew. This event grew. More people came. Think of the things where you have had outcomes from what was your favorite thing to do, your grace of ease, something that you're highly skilled at, and see whether or not it's aligned with what you're called to do. What are you called to do? We're all called to be our best, right? Live our best lives, right? But there is something specifically that you've been designed to do, and you should be about the business of finding that out, much like I believe Wayne County Sheriff Benny Napoleon has found out, much like I believe, bless his memory now, much like I believe James Shelton has found out. What's your purpose? And then so most people have gifts and graces and skills. Most people don't know that purpose yet, right? But there are some people who are close to their purpose and they really haven't done all the honing of those skills, right? So that is something you address through training, and try to address it through as much free training as you can, right? So if you feel that your grace of ease is service, then you might want to work on communication. How good a communicator are you? Okay. And what could you do to grow in the area of communication? Because you'll have to communicate to different stakeholders and various groups about what service you are designing or implementing or creating or providing, right? So those skills, that knowledge, those skills and abilities we have to hone so that we can sit in the center of our passion on purpose. Sit in the center of your passion on purpose. Thank you. I see Jay Davis, Kim Wilson, Marilyn Hamilton, Linda Phillips, Brenna Lawson, June Rochelle Eaton, Corey Mildred King have all joined us. Thank you so much for joining us. Folks that have joined us on Facebook, sorry, on YouTube events. I'm sorry, I'm looking right at it. I apologize. And I love that we have YouTube event folks that are overseas. I so appreciate you, because I know there's a difference in time in the time zones, and I appreciate any and all of you. And of course, those of you that are watching on LinkedIn, appreciate you. If you just drop in the comments, what is your passion? What is your passion? Drop that for me in the comments. What is your passion? What is your purpose? Are you living in the center of it? All right, I'm going to see if we can get James Shelton to join us really quickly on here. He is, again, the gentleman whose music I just played. And hopefully I can get him on very quickly. Would be great. I can have him here. Give me some likes if you enjoyed that music. It was great music from James Shelton. See that he was on. He is on, maybe. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. All right. See if we can get James Shelton with us. All right. Okay, James, I just sent the link to you. I hope that you can join us. All right. And while James is coming, okay, cool. Hope that he can join us. All right. All right. Living in the center of your passion, it is an important, very important thing. There are so many people that need to be blessed, need to receive all that you have to give. And how can they get it if you're not in the center of your passion? And so here is another gentleman, in a way of a brief commercial, that's living in the center of his passion. And I want you to watch this as we see if we can have James come and join us.
Who do you know is looking to buy or sell real estate? I'm Enrico White, a North Carolina realtor with Keller Williams Premier. The Charlotte, North Carolina market is one of the top 10 markets in the country. Nearly 100 people per day moving to the Charlotte area, and you need a realtor. Not in North Carolina? I would love to refer a realtor to you wherever you are. Feel free to reach out to me, 980-777-9157, or look at my website, enricowhite.kw.com. Realtor Rico to your rescue.
All right, that was Enrico White out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He is a realtor. He is also a pastor in the Charlotte area, but he is also living in the center of his passion, reinvigorating and reigniting his love for real estate. And so As you heard him, Charlotte is having new people move into Charlotte every day. It's a booming area. And even if you're looking to move somewhere else around the country, he's connected through his network of realtors to connect you to a realtor that will help you achieve your goal of home ownership, which I think is something great if that is what you desire, and a great opportunity for you to connect with someone who's really passionate about what he does is Enrico White. And so you can find him on LinkedIn, Enrico White, or on Facebook, or again, on his website, enricowhite.com. Living in the center of your passion. You have to live in the center of your passion. All right. Just trying to give James Shelton an opportunity to join us. Okay. All right. Okay. So going back as we're at 12:36, going back to where we left off last week, we were talking last week about this job search, career search plan, right? Setting yourself a 30, 60, 90-day plan. Now, remember, I just told you about an opportunity. If you have electronic medical records experience, that could yield in less than 30 days. But you need both project management and electronic medical records experience. But if that's you or someone in your circle, have them inbox me with their resume, and let's see where that journey leads you. 30, 60, 90 days. The lion's share of people are in the 60-day, but many want to be in the 30-day. And again, not a lot of companies expect a 30-day turnaround, but there are some who want their time to fill from the time that they say, yep, we need to fill a position, to the time that they make a job offer. That time to fill is, they want it to be less than 45 days, some less than 30 days. But the reality is that that process is typically 60 days. And depending on the brand of the company, they could get hundreds, maybe thousands of resumes. And if they don't have some kind of system that does a keyword analysis or mention analysis, or parsing is what many people call it in the industry, it's going to take some time to sift through those resumes. Now, there are some that will just take the resumes that they are familiar with of people and not look at the entire resume inventory, if you will. I'm not a proponent of that. I'm a proponent of ensuring that your talent community is something that you're always watering to grow. Think of it as a talent garden, and you always want it to grow so that it can be ripe for the picking, and so that people will come to your garden as well. So you got to kind of water it and cultivate it. And what I mean by that is, if someone applies to your position and you don't respond at all, I think that's bad business. Now, some recruiters would disagree because they have hundreds and thousands of resumes. And so it's incumbent upon that chief recruiting officer, that talent acquisition officer, to ensure that there is a process in place so that everybody that applies gets some communication back. A lot of companies have moved to, if you apply, they have this blanket statement, hey, we've had so many applications, we might not get back to you, right? I think if someone takes the time out to apply, there ought to be some, even if you have to use AI tools, artificial intelligence tools, you got to be able to respond to people, because that's your first impression maybe on that individual who goes back and says, I wanted to work for such and such company and they didn't even respond. And then someone else is then discouraged maybe from applying because you're building a reputation for not responding. And so you have to respond, right? And you respond and tell that person a little bit more about the process, right? Okay, we have one opening, we've got 2,000 candidates, right? And so I saw a posting recently when they said, be prepared to do 3 rounds of interviews. They're telling you on the front end what you can expect in the way of assessment and how you can move through the process. Many people are, of course, organizations are savvy enough to have an applicant tracking system where you can check in and get your updates. You get automatic updates either sent to your email or sent to the portal, and you sign in and get those automatic updates to say, here's your status in this process. All of that's very important. And so you should follow that, learn what the process of the organization is that you are engaging, right? Find out if they're not responsive, they're responsive, they respond at certain points in the process, or you need to go and check in the system. If they're interested they're going to invite you to the dance, right? So you're getting ready to get ready for the dance, right? Because you're already working on that resume, had somebody else look at it to proofread it. You know, if you've been at a lot of different places, the reality is that a lot of organizations see that different places very differently depending on age. I'm going to be honest. We tend to expect to see more movement among millennials than we might see among baby boomers or Gen X. Those which we shouldn't question those more, but we do. We say, okay, this person was here 2 years and they moved here and then they went here. And that raises sometime a flag for us. Not as much for millennial because that's what we have come to expect of millennials, I'll be honest. And I'd be interested to hear from a recruiter who would tell you differently. And so you got your resume together. If you don't have a lot of consecutive history, you write in your resume in a functional way, right? That talks about the really standout things you've done that are similar and show progression. So where you are a project manager and you led a project that you got to the finish line under budget and better quality, you articulate that. And then when you had to manage several projects and you were a program manager, which is some progression, right? You talk about how you managed several projects and brought them to net profit or brought them to time to productivity at a certain level. You save dollars, right? And then if you became a division head or manager over program managers, right? You list that out in progression, that your expertise is project program management, and here are the things that you did. Then you list out your employers beneath that. And you list out any certifications that you have that are relevant to this opportunity, right? So you can do a more functional type of resume if you don't have a lot of experience, or your experience has been over several different employers and you don't want to give the look that you just moved around. You will give the look that you've moved around, but first impression will be, oh, he's done a lot of progressive things. Oh, he moved around. It softens the move around to the extent it can be softened for anybody that it raises a red flag. So it's another way to present your resume to someone. So get that together. And then the next thing that you're going to work on after you have your resume and you submitted it, you have done your networking, as we talked about next week, with your connections on LinkedIn, the second connections and third connections. And we talked about connecting with people that you know of, connecting with people that you don't know, and how you would do that. We talked about that in detail, so you should go back and watch last week's. But just in summary, you're going to connect with people that you know differently than you're going to connect with people that you know of and people that you don't know. So I don't know Omari Hardwick. All right, saying, I know someone that you know, right? I would say to the person I know, I'd like to get to know Omari Hardwick. Here's what I'd like. Let them know, okay, I'm connecting for this purpose, right? And if you have a real relationship, a real connection with that individual, you have a real relationship and connection with that individual, then that person may not have a problem referring you to Omari Hardwick or someone else for the purpose that you intend. So it's important because that person is putting their brand and relationship and connection, in jeopardy potentially. It's your responsibility to ensure that you tell them, I want to connect with Omari Hardwick for this purpose. And then you're going on the strength of your relationship with them, whether or not they believe that's true and whether or not they believe it makes sense to be the person to connect. And so if it's just me talking to the person I know that knows him, I can connect with her all the time, right? And say, hey, I'm doing this. I need this. Could you do this? But that's different when it's someone that you know of. Okay. And then if it's someone that you don't know, you have no connection to, it's a name. You could Google them and learn something about them. That person, you want to engage them on social media by getting involved in their post. So you don't stalk their posts, but you start to comment on those posts. So that's a little synopsis. And that's what you're doing next. Your resume, you have applied, you made your list of 5 companies. All of this is from last week. You apply, you research those companies, research the positions, research other positions in the company that might be similar, research other positions in other companies that are similar to your ideal job that fits your purpose and passion. The next thing that you're doing in that road to 60 and road to 90 is developing your responses to the potential of behavioral-based questions. Okay? And we talked before about behavioral-based interviewing, and I won't go into the entire module because the module will be soon a webinar that you can attend, and you'll have an opportunity after getting your list of questions together to do mock interviews with hiring managers and HR professionals on Zoom, and they will give you feedback after the interview so that you can hone your craft, okay? And it is a craft because really, if you listen to I think the week before last, we had Craig Turner on, the Career Concierge. He talked about, and I totally agree with him, that it really is good storytelling. So if you can tell a good story, now hopefully, if you grew up in my era, telling a story was meaning you were telling a lie. Lie was a bad word. But I mean telling like good stories, not good lies, right? You want to tell true stories about your experience. And organizations are basing your responses as they align to certain competencies that those organizations say are required for success on the job, okay? And so if those competencies include decision making, you're going to be in a position where decision making is a core competency that you will need to have in order to be successful on the job. They're going to ask you a question, tell me about a time, or a question that may be like, tell me about a time when you had to make a decision and it was unpopular. You made an unpopular decision. Okay? They're asking you to recount from your history, your work history primarily, but your history, where you were the decision maker and you made a decision that wasn't popular with the people that either had to live with the decision, implement the decision, and how did that go? And so you want to tell a story that takes that situation and makes a presentation to them that the core of who you are is a good decision maker. And so I start in this module, this webinar discussion about the core of who you are. What are your core motives? Because your core motives should drive those responses and align those responses to the authentic stories that you should tell. So we talk about core motives. We talk about in the job context, whether or not one of the core motives for you is achievement. A person that has achievement as a core motive likes to be able to say what I've achieved, what awards I've received, what accolades I've received, what cost have I saved the company, what revenues did I increase, what process did I fix. And it's the person who likes to get a medal. It's the person who likes that sense of accomplishment. I completed a project. I met a deadline. If that drives you, you're going to embed that part of who you are in your response to the situation, the task that was at hand, what were the actions that you took, and what were the results. It's called the STAR method or CAR method. And basically, it's telling a story. It's lining out what was the situation, give us context. And what were you assigned to do, or what were you given to do, or what was it your responsibility to do? What actions did you take? Who were involved in those actions? And what did you actually do? And then what was the outcome? Was it a good outcome? Did you learn a good lesson? Were you able to take it and implement it for success in the future? So you're going to structure your story in that regard. But I'm trying to get you to connect to your core motives so that it comes across most authentically. Because you could tell a story, and if it doesn't resonate, a lot of the times it's either delivery or authenticity. Authentic, well-delivered stories, and a well-delivered story is typically a well-prepared one. Those resonate deeply with people. And we'll talk a little bit about the body language that you might observe in knowing that you're connecting to those individuals. Okay? The second, excuse me, the second is affiliation. You like to join things. You're a member of a fraternity. I almost called out the name of one. I'd be in trouble because I have friends in all of them. So they'd be like, why don't you shout out mine? Or a sorority. You're in the National Association of fill in the blank. You're the regional vice president of fill in the blank association. You're a volunteer on the board of directors for fill in the blank. You're a member of the PTA. You're a member of this committee and that committee. You get refueled by a sense of belonging. You need to, or want to, or deeply desire to belong. You're driven by the core motive of affiliation. And that is important when you are crafting and answering the STAR method. If it's around decision making again, if it's around customer service orientation, if it's around change or change management. If you want to belong, you're going to create a space where others belong, and consensus is going to be important to you. Hearing diverse opinions before making a decision is going to be important to you. See how you might weave that into a question around decision making, because it's going to show up as authentic because it's who you are, right? And you're going to deliver it better because you're going to be confident in the authentic you. Okay? And then lastly, if you like stature or power or titles or position or hierarchy, if those things structure, if those are important to you, you're probably driven. Your core motive is power. And that doesn't have to be a bad thing. Some people use their power like Napoleon, Benny Napoleon, used their power and platform for good, for the greater good. He ran for offices. He served so that he could help others and help uplift and promote and encourage and inspire others. He is a great example of a person with power who seeks to humbly use it and harness it for the greater good. And if you're driven by that, then you craft your responses that you show up as a person who understands the power and understands power of restraint, understands power of humility, understands how to wield power in a way that creates platform and opportunity for others. You could weave that into a story about decision making. Well, I like to make decisions. I'm a take charge kind of person, but I also like to create opportunities and use my power to ask a lot of questions to gather information so that others are learning to make the decisions that I have the authority to make. So I delegate some of that power through inquiry to get information so that I can get the best perspective from everybody in the final decision, and then they feel that they have helped to make the decision. That's how I use my power. And it shows up authentically because it's who you are. And that's what you want in a behavioral-based interviewing setting. You want to answer all of the questions, and you want to be able to respond and pull examples from your inventory of examples, but you want to be authentic. You want them to meet the real you. And that requires some preparation so that you're most comfortable being your best you. We're at 12:59. I think it's been a great show. I was hoping to have James Shelton to join us. I knew he had a studio session around the same time. We played his music. I just want to recap that you can go to James Shelton's page on LinkedIn or on Facebook. He's doing the 12 days of Christmas. Catch up to where they are in the 12 days and enjoy the 12 days. I also want to briefly mention, as we're coming to a close, that in the Love and Stuff community, we have selected 6 families to help, 6 families that we are helping during this time of pandemic. And I will see if I can bring up for you, bring up for us a little bit of information on each of the families. You can go to https hr-passion-guy.myshopify.com to donate. There are gift boxes, $10, $20, $50. If you want to give a different amount, you can inbox us at Love and Stuff and we can arrange it. But we use our Shopify store where you buy other merchandise so that you can purchase these gift boxes. And really, you're just donating the money. We will put that money either in a store gift card or in a Visa gift card and get it to those families, many that are in the Midwest, but we have some out West as well. And I just want to briefly bring up the information so that you will be able to, I may have to share screen on this one. Let's see. Yeah, it may not let me just, we'll see if it'll let me. We'll see if it'll let me do it this way. Nope. Okay. We're going to share our screen just so that you can see that we have several opportunities to help families in this season, and we want to help them as quickly as we can as we go into the close of the season. Of course, anything you purchase in the Love and Stuff store, the HR Shopify store, is 10% off. And okay, we're having a little trouble there. Okay, it's 10% off. And we'll share our screen. 10% off. All right, here's one. Oh, can we do it? Okay. All right. Let's get this. Thank you for your patience as we're sharing the screen. All right. So one of the families that we're helping are two sisters that live together, and they're both moms. One has a, let's see, one with a 5-year-old and one with a 10-month-old. And so if you go to the HR Passion Guide Shopify store and select a $10 or $20, $50, we will add it to the card that we will send to this family or deliver to this family so that these moms can both have a good Christmas and a good start to the new year, whatever amount that you want to give. But we do have 10, 20, and $50 gift boxes. If you want a different amount, you should inbox me on, preferably on the Love and Stuff page. But if you inbox me anywhere else, I'm certainly going to respond to those as well. I'm going to go to the next one. I think I got to stop sharing each time. Okay. I'll share my screen again. And our next individual that we want to help is a mom with a young baby. The mom is a size large, women's large, and the baby boy is 7 months old. We don't want to, we didn't want to necessarily put pictures of people up, though we know that, for some people that might help them. We just didn't want to put people on the spot. We want to help them, but, we don't want them to feel any kind of way about us helping them. If that makes any sense to you, I hope that does. I'm sharing the next one just so that you can see the information and make a decision. I hope that you will. One family has a set of twins and the parents are not working. They need assistance. And so, again, you can go and shop any of those gift boxes that are on the page. Any of those gift boxes on the page. Go back one more time. Just a couple more times. I thank you for your patience. I just wanted you to see the information, and it will be captured on the video in case someone wants to go back and watch it. All right. Another family that has 3 children. There's a 5-year-old boy, a 2-year-old boy, and a 4-year-old girl. Okay. That you can help us help by going to the Shopify store as well. And we also have a family of 6. Of course, 2 adults, mother and father, 3 girls, and 1 boy. So we are asking that you will, it's a pandemic, but we're asking that you would find it in your hearts to go to our Shopify store, HR Shopify store. Bring that on the screen to help families in need. We'll share the screen. Now you can go here and shop at our Shopify store. This is the address to go to our Shopify store, and you can shop anything you purchase. It's 10% off with the code SPREADLOVE, and 35% of all of the merchandise that you purchase will go toward helping families, but 100% of the gift boxes that you purchase will go to those families as a donation to help them in what has been a difficult time for all of us. And so I hope that you will definitely go there and shop at our myshopify.com. store. It has all of our products there, and I think I can share a screen here with you so that you can see it. Purchase. So that you can get a chance to see it. Yep. Okay. See if I can share that screen with you really quickly. Yep. Just share that real quick. Yep. That is our HR Shopify store. And if you go down, of course, if you love a discount, 10% off your cart with a coupon Spread Love. You get your Love and Stuff gear. Here are where the Love Box gift box additions are. Again, a small Love box is $10, medium box is $20, large box is $50. We also have our newest feature collection, which is Let Love Spread Like a Pandemic. It is a wonderful. We also have the moisture absorbing tea. If you work out and you want that kind of material, we also have that. All of the lettering is in red, but you can have it in many different colors in different products. So we have a V-neck for the ladies. We also have sweatshirts, absorbing tee, short sleeves, the hoodie as well. All of these are available, and they're 10% off all of those products. The only thing that's not 10% off are the gift boxes, because 100% of the gift boxes go toward helping families in need. So I hope that you will join us. Again, it's HR Shopify, HR-Passion-Guy, myshopify.com. It's all of our merchandise, and you're so welcome to purchase any of the merchandise that's there. From tote bags to t-shirts, the gift boxes that are going directly to families. We want to present them that before Christmas, of course. And because of the contactless effort, of course, we're trying to do store gift cards and Visa gift cards so that those families, those 6 families, can be blessed. I know it is a pandemic and it's a tough time for so many people. But if you find it in your heart and find it in your pocketbook, a little extra that you can share, go to myshopify.com, HR-Passion-Guy, myshopify, and purchase one of the gift boxes. Of course, again, those gift boxes are in the denominations of 10, 20, and 50. But if you are led to give a different amount, you can inbox us here on LinkedIn at Marcus R. Holmes or HR Passion, or you can inbox us on Facebook on in the Love and Stuff inbox, and we'll arrange for whatever amount that you want to do. This was just a way to put it on the website as a product so that we could get it as quickly as possible to families who are in need and who are trying, like you and I, to pivot during this pandemic. It's a blessing to be a blessing, and we hope that you will be a blessing. It's been a blessing today to be on with you in the great memory of Benny Napoleon, an excellent public servant who passed away yesterday here in the Metro Detroit area, and to James Shelton, who's living in the center of his passion with his music. What are you passionate about? And are you living in the center of that passion? Is that passion connected to your work? Is that passion connected to the people that you are bringing value and outcomes to? Well, I invite you to investigate, evaluate your life space, and determine how close to the equator of passion are you seated. And if not close enough, be about the work and business of getting your life to the place where you are most passionate. I'm Marcus Holmes, the HR Passion Guy. It's been a great Passion Friday. If you enjoy Passion Fridays, every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, click share and tag someone in our discussion so that they can become a part of our Passion Friday events. Have a grateful day.